डिअर स्टुडंट्स, या व्हिडिओ लेक्चरमध्ये आपण इयत्ता 12वी इंग्रजीमधील सर्व म्हणजेच एकूण 8 कवितांचे पोएटिक अप्रिशिएशन अभ्यासणार आहोत. अप्रिशिएशन या शब्दासाठी मराठीमध्ये रसग्रहण हा शब्द आहे. पोएटिक अप्रिशिएशन म्हणजे एखादी कविता पूर्णपणे समजून घेऊन तिचा आनंद घेणे. या प्रश्नाचे उत्तर लिहिण्यासाठी तुम्हाला कवितेचे पूर्णपणे आकलन होणे आवश्यक आहे. म्हणजेच कविता तुम्हाला पूर्णपणे समजली पाहिजे. वार्षिक परीक्षेमध्ये क्वेश्चन नंबर 3B हा प्रश्न पोएटिक अप्रिशिएशन यावर आधारित असतो. यासाठी 4 गुण आहेत. टेक्स्टबुकमधील एकूण 8 कवितापैकी कोणतीही एक कविता किंवा कवितेमधील 15 ते 20 ओळी दिलेल्या असतात. या ओळींच्या आधारे व दिलेल्या पॉईंट्सच्या आधारे तुम्हाला याचे उत्तर लिहायचे आहे. एक नमुना प्रश्न पहा. राईट द पोएटिक अप्रिशिएशन ऑफ द गिव्हन एक्स्ट्रॅक्ट, यूज द गिव्हन पॉईंट्स. अशा प्रकारचा हा प्रश्न आहे. यानंतर दिलेले पॉईंट्स पहा. अबाउट द पोएम, पोएट अँड टायटल, थीम, लँग्वेज स्टाईल ऑर पोएटिक डिव्हाइसेस, मेसेज ऑर व्हॅल्यूज, युअर ओपिनियन अबाउट द पोएम. अशा प्रकारचे 4 ते 5 पॉईंट्स इथे दिलेले असतात. परीक्षेमध्ये पॉईंट्स दिले नसतील तरीसुद्धा याच पॉईंट्सच्या आधारे उत्तरे लिहिणे अपेक्षित आहे. इयत्ता 12वीच्या टेक्स्टबुकमध्ये एकूण 8 कविता आहेत. त्यांची यादी पहा. सेक्शन 2 पोएट्री सेक्शन म्हणजे आपल्या अभ्यासक्रमातील दुसरे सेक्शन हे पोएट्री सेक्शन आहे. 2.1 सॉन्ग ऑफ द ओपन रोड रिटन बाय वॉल्ट व्हिटमन. इंडियन व्ह्यूअर्स बाय सरोजिनी नायडू. द इंचकेप रॉक रिटन बाय रॉबर्ट साऊदी. हॅव यू अर्नड युअर टुमारो रिटन बाय एडगर गेस्ट. फादर रिटर्निंग होम दिलीप चित्रे. मनी W.H. डेव्हिस. शी वॉक्स इन ब्युटी रिटन बाय जॉर्ज बायरन. स्मॉल टाउन्स अँड रिव्हर्स रिटन बाय ममंग दाई. या एकूण 8 कविता आहेत. परीक्षेमध्ये तुम्हाला दिलेल्या ओळी वाचून त्या ओळी कोणत्या कवितेमधील आहेत ते समजले पाहिजे. त्यानंतर तुम्ही त्या कवितेसंदर्भामध्ये अप्रिशिएशन लिहू शकाल. आता आपण या सर्व कवितांचे अगदी थोडक्यामध्ये अप्रिशिएशन पाहूया. सर्वप्रथम पहिली कविता सॉन्ग ऑफ द ओपन रोड रिटन बाय वॉल्ट व्हिटमन. वॉल्ट व्हिटमन या अमेरिकन कवीने लिहिलेली ही एक सुंदर कविता आहे. यासंबंधी माहिती पहा. अबाउट द पोएम, पोएट अँड टायटल. The Song of the Open Road is written by an American poet, Walt Whitman. He is known as the father of free verse. The title Song of the Open Road is symbolic. Here, road stands for the path of life. Nandar past second point, theme. The theme of the poem is self-realization, freedom, and tenderness of heart. The poet motivates the readers to ignore critics and to be confident person. Though there are many problems in life, we may enjoy this journey of life. Poetic devices or language style. The language of the poem is very simple. The poem is written in pre-verse. This is also a narrative poem. Metaphor, paradox, repetition, such poetic devices make the poem more decorative. नंतर पहा message or values. This is a philosophical and motivational poem. Though there are many problems in life, we should enjoy the freedom of life. The poem also teaches us the importance of self-realization and self-confidence. आणि शेवटचा पॉईंट my opinion about the poem. The poem teaches me the wisdom of life. I liked the metaphor of road. The poem motivates me to enjoy the journey of life. अशा प्रकारे तुम्ही इथं या पॉईंट्सच्या आधारे उत्तर लिहिलं पाहिजे. यानंतर पुढची पोएम आहे इंडियन व्ह्यूअर्स रिटन बाय सरोजिनी नायडू. पहिला पॉईंट पहा. अबाउट द पोएम, poet and title. Indian Viewers is a well-known poem written by Sarojini Naidu. She is also known as the Nightingale of India. She took part in the Indian freedom struggle. The title of the poem reveals the characters in this poem and their location. Theme. Indian Viewers is a short poem of three stanzas. These three stanzas stand for three stages of human life, that is, childhood, adulthood, and death. This is a philosophical poem. Number 3. Language style or poetic devices. There are three stanzas in this poem. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AABB. Simile, metaphor, inversion, such figures of speech make the poem more attractive. All the stanzas contain color imagery. Message or values. The poem depicts the three stages of human life. We understand each life stage and unique emotions related to that life stage. The poem teaches us the universal truths of human life. My opinion about the poem. I learned this poem and enjoyed it. The poem has many attractive expressions. The poem has deeper meaning. It gives the philosophical touch to this poem. In this way, we may write appreciation of Indian Viewers. यानंतर पहा 2.3 The Inchcape Rock, written by Robert Saudi. About the poem, poet, and title. The Inchcape Rock is a long narrative poem written by Robert Saudi. The poem is an example of ballad. This poem tells a story of a sea pirate who gets punishment for his wrongdoings. नंतर पहा theme of the poem. The theme of this poem is that those who do bad things will ultimately be punished. There is poetic justice in life. We learn the message: evil digs a pit for others but falls into the same. Language style. Robert Saudi uses decorative language in this poem. This poem is also a ballad that narrates a story of an abbot and a sea pirate. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AABB. Simile, metaphor, antithesis, onomatopoeia, such devices are used in this poem. पुढचा पॉइंट पहा. Message or values. The poem conveys a moral lesson through the story depicted in it. The wicked sea pirate, Sir Ralph the Rover, received the punishment because of his wrongdoings. As you sow, so shall you reap, is the moral lesson of this poem. My opinion about the poem. I learned the poem and enjoyed it. It taught me to give up jealousy. I will remember the moral lesson. Evil digs a pit for others but falls into the same. अशा प्रकारे आपण इथं द इंचकेप रॉक या कवितेचं अप्रिशिएशन लिहू शकतो. नंतर पहा पोएम नंबर 4 Have You Earned Your Tomorrow, written by Edgar Guest. About the poem, poet, and title. Have You Earned Your Tomorrow is a famous motivational poem written by Edgar Guest. He is known as People's Poet because of his simple language style and optimistic tone of writing. Theme. The title of the poem is a direct question to the readers. The poet asks the readers whether they have done something good for others. According to the poet, if we do some good deeds today, our tomorrow will be earned. Language style or poetic devices. This poem is written in rhyming couplets. It has 4 quatrains. Quatrain means a stanza of 4 lines. Interrogation is the prominent figure of speech used in this poem. Alliteration, antithesis, and personification are the other devices used in the poem. पुढचा पॉइंट पहा. Values or message. This is a motivational and didactic poem. The poem motivates the readers for doing good deeds. It helps us to bring positive change in our behavior. According to the poet, our small good deeds are enough to guarantee our better tomorrow. My opinion about this poem. I liked the technique of interrogation used in this poem. The poet conveys his thoughts with the help of probing questions. I learned the poem and enjoyed it. यानंतर पोएम नंबर 5 पहा. फादर रिटर्निंग होम. About the poem, poet and title. Father Returning Home is a well-known poem written by Dilip Chitre. He was a bilingual poet who wrote in English and Marathi. In this poem, the poet describes his father's daily routine. Theme of the poem. This poem is a portrait of a suburban commuter. The poet depicts his father's dull, monotonous and pitiable daily routine. The hard-working father is neglected in his family. Painful loneliness of suburban people is the dominant theme of this poem. Language style or poetic devices. The poem is an example of free verse. The language of the poem is very simple. Metaphor, simile, transferred epithet and onomatopoeia. Such devices make the poem more decorative. The poet uses imagery throughout the poem. Message or values. The poem depicts sorrowful and lonely life of the elderly people. Though they work hard for the family, they are disrespected by their family members. The poem gives the message of family values. It's our duty to take care of growing population. My opinion about the poem. I think the poem is relevant to the modern world. This is a pathetic poem in simple language. It gives a valuable message of family values to young generation. यानंतर पुढची कविता आहे मनी, रिटन बाय विल्यम एच डेव्हिस. या कवितेसंबंधी माहिती पहा. About the poem, poet and title. The poem Money is written by W.H. Davis. The poet was a tramp who wandered in the UK and the United States. He actually experienced the life of a poor man. This poem deals with money and happiness. This is a philosophical poem. नंतर पहा theme. The theme of the poem is the inverse relation between money and happiness. The poet thinks that the poor people are happier than the rich. The poet had many false friends when he was a rich man. But when he became a poor man, at that time he had true friends. Language style or poetic devices. The poem has 5 stanzas of 4 lines each. The poet uses many poetic devices to make the poem decorative. Inversion, simile, onomatopoeia, repetition, such devices are used in this poem. Message or values. The poem gives a valuable message that wealth is not necessary to be happy in life. Money cannot buy happiness and contentment. The poet tells us the value of money. Happiness is more important than money. My opinion about the poem. In my opinion, money does not bring happiness. Happiness is a state of mind. The poet taught me the value of money in our lives. We should not run after money. Now in this way, this is about appreciation of the poem Money. The next poem is She Walks in Beauty, written by जॉर्ज बायरन. जॉर्ज बायरन किंवा लॉर्ड बायरन अशा प्रकारे कवीचे दोन्ही नावाने ओळख आहे. About the poem, poet and title. She Walks in Beauty is a well-known poem written by a British romantic poet, Lord Byron. The title of the poem shows that a lady is appreciated in this poem. The title is also the first line of the poem. Theme of the poem. The major theme of this poem is the beauty of a woman. The poet thinks that her beauty is flawless. He also describes the inner beauty of the woman whose mind is pure and her heart is innocent. Now in this way, the entire poem is about beauty of an unknown lady. Language style or poetic devices. This is a short lyrical poem of 18 lines. There are 3 stanzas of 6 lines. The rhyme scheme of the poem is AB, AB, AB. Simile, metaphor, antithesis, personification. Such devices make the poem more decorative. Values or message. The poem tells us the importance of inner beauty. It is a divine thing. The woman's heart is innocent. Her mind is pure, so she is beautiful. Goodness in our behavior makes us beautiful. In this way, this poem gives us a valuable message about beauty. Number 5. My opinion about the poem. The poem teaches me to appreciate beauty. While praising outer beauty, we should pay attention to inner beauty. Our inner qualities or inner beauty is more important than outer beauty. यानंतर शेवटची कविता आहे स्मॉल टाउन्स अँड रिव्हर्स रिटन बाय ममंग दाई. या कवितेचं अप्रिशिएशन पहा. अबाउट द पोएम, पोएट अँड टायटल. The poem Small Towns and Rivers is written by Mamang Dai, who is from the northeast state of Arunachal Pradesh. She is an environmentalist. In this poem, she describes her small town, Pasighat, which is situated in Arunachal Pradesh. Theme: Small Towns and Rivers is a nature poem. Here the poet describes her hometown, Pasighat. She remembers death when she sees the towns. Towns have prospered by destroying nature. The poet expresses anxiety at the developments in the small towns. This is the theme of this poem. Language style or poetic devices. The poem is written in free verse. The poet uses very easy and simple language, metaphor, antithesis, personification. Such poetic devices are used by the poet. Message or values. The poet tells us how the beauty of nature is damaged for man's greed. The poet expresses anxiety at the developments in the small towns. The poem gives us an important message of protecting nature. My opinion about the poem. I learned the poem and enjoyed it. The poem taught me to love nature. Only nature can teach us true meaning of life. Nature is the real God. अशा प्रकारे आपण या सर्व कवितांचे अप्रिशिएशन अगदी थोडक्यामध्ये पाहिलेले आहे. या माहितीच्या आधारे तुम्ही पोएटिक अप्रिशिएशन हा प्रश्न परीक्षेत योग्य प्रकारे सोडवू शकाल. डिअर स्टुडंट्स, या सर्व उत्तरांची लिंक तुम्हाला PDF फॉर्ममध्ये डिस्क्रिप्शन बॉक्समध्ये दिली आहे. व्हिजिट माय यूट्यूब चॅनल फॉर मोर व्हिडिओज. थँक यू फॉर वॉचिंग. हॅव अ ग्रेट डे.